My butt cheeks vibrating. I need to see who's messaging me. It was Venmo.
Oh, somebody pay you? Or somebody's requesting?
No, it's my quarterly statement that I never read.
Oh. Yes, the quarter. See, that's my thing. I got, back in the day when everybody got Robinhood, I got Robinhood, but by the time I actually got it, Doge was at its peak, and I was like, well, this is dumb. And so I never used it, but I had the free stock they gave me, and so they're just like, oh, we're going to send you your tax documents, and I'm like, the stock's not even worth $5. It has to be worth $10 for me to actually report it. So they don't even send me the tax documents. They say they're going to, but it never shows up because, well, I don't have $10 in there, so... Yeah, it's just some crappy healthcare stock.
But if you don't even collect it, it's like, let's say you have a stock, that's over, several $1,000s. If you never collect it, you don't have to report it, right?
No, so, because they gave you the stock. So you
So
it's a capital gains.
Yeah.
You have to pay taxes on that if it's over $10. Unfortunately, because of, interest rates going up this year, I will have to pay taxes on my savings account. Because it earned just above $10 for the year this year.
Oh, that's the thing?
Is this the part where I'm supposed to pull out a small violin?
I don't want to know what your taxes look like.
Oh, usually it's not bad. At least not yet.
Do you go to the bank downtown to get them done, or do you?
No, I got a guy here in Lincoln.
You have to pay, so
in Lincoln.
If you make over $10 in interest, you have to pay tax on that?
Yep.
Really? And what if you don't know? Like, what if you never look at your bank account?
Well, I mean, they send you your tax documents when you do over $10, and so
Oh, so they know.
The bank knows. The bank pays attention.
So this is like that one.
So I mean, you can choose to not.
This is
take
like
it to
that.
your
This is
tax
like that meme I saw. It's like this kid was like, "Yeah, I'm 18. I have to start filling out tax. Does the IRS, do they give like a
Oh, I think I heard something like
It's just like my first time. No, you'll still go to jail. Oh, and if I do it wrong, like it'll still be okay. Oh no, we know exactly how much you owe. No, can you tell us how much I owe? No, that's your job to figure out.
And if you do it wrong, you go to jail.
And if you do it wrong, you still go to jail.
That's the best part about the IRS, and like everybody in the world just like.
Oh, speaking of the IRS, did you hear about how apparently now since the House is all red that they finally got all that stuff, they took out all those extra IRS agents?
Yeah, but the IRS agents were meant not for us middle class. They were there to actually bring the system up from the 70s, because the IRS hasn't increased in employees since the 70s. I don't know how to tell you this, but I think the U.S. has gone from 200 million in the 70s to 300 million people. That's 100 million people, and they're just, same number of tax agents. These weren't the ones going to arrest people. They were going to be specifically for corporations. Mm-hmm. Although I don't know what good it's going to do, because it still has to go through the Senate, and the Senate's blue.
Well, because the thing is, I wonder, out of everyone who was audited last year, what the lowest dollar amount, like who made the least amount of money? Because something still tells me that even the person who was making the least amount of money that was audited was probably still making over $1 million a year.
Yeah,
because why would they go after the little guy?
They don't. So I was talking. So our sheep shearer is an accountant. Mm-hmm. Because you can't shear sheep all year round. Yeah. Who wants to shear sheep in the spring? That's the worst time. So he says that only way for you to get to get audited and even pop up on the radar is if you don't have a normal 9-to-5 job.
I'm screwed.
I was going to say, you're screwed. But for the rest of us, as long as, you have a normal paycheck, they will probably never audit you. They have no reason to audit you.
Well, the other thing that's at least stupid about ours is that they could technically do auditing all they want, but like what I did yesterday with all the go-kart stuff, I went and got a helmet from these guys right over here, and then we got dinner, I got gas, we did all the driving, all that stuff. By the time I got all that stuff done, I have the receipts for that, and once that video goes live, they can't touch me because that had to be done to make that video. You can literally write off every single thing that is basically on camera. And last year, when I did $3,000 worth of work to my car to get it ready for a show, and I did record, or I posted pictures, or I did something that involved on social media, My tax guy at the time, he's, bless his heart, he's like older gentleman, does not know what the heck he's doing. He wants to try and figure it out. He wants to try and help me. I didn't get to write any of that off. I only had to pay in like $300, but...
Well, that was my dad last year. He went in, and the tax guy was like, look, you got way too many deductions. Like, you have so many that if we apply all of these, you're going to end up getting flagged by the IRS, and you'll probably get audited. That is the only way that if you have a normal 9-to-5 job is if you have a stupid amount of deductions. I don't know how my dad managed to get this many deductions, but he figured it out. And so he was just like, look, you got to do something else. And so I got one of the deductions, which gave me a crap ton of money in my tax return than normal.
So
it doubled it.
I mean, yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, I was asking for his name, because he sounds like a Saul Goodman tax guy.
Like, well, he's in the same town he lives in, just downtown at the bank.
I'm trying to think of who that is.
Well, we can't say on the podcast, but I can tell you afterwards. But yeah, did wonders. I got double my tax return, and I spent it all on chemistry equipment that I have. Well, I've used some of it a few times, but that's just because I then learned distilling alcohol is illegal. Period, and I was a little upset. I wanted to make a video about making alcohol, but
You wanted to feed it to me.
Oh yeah, then we decided to just give it to my dad. He'd drink it. He'd take a shot of moonshine.
That you made?
Oh yeah. Would you take a shot of moonshine that I made?
No.
Wow. Even if we generously remove the heads?
No.
All right, fair enough. Well, anyways, but you can't. Anyways,
I don't drink anyways.
See. Anyways. Yeah. So can't do it. I've thought about making mash and just keeping the heads and then throwing the rest away, because it's like I did distill alcohol. I only distilled methanol. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that would really do. The one thing I don't understand is it must be different in Canada, because there's a YouTuber who's a chemistry YouTuber who made moonshine from toilet paper. Yeah. You want to know how?
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
But you're probably going to tell me anyway.
No, if you don't want to know, I'm not going to explain. So anyways.
I don't really think I need to know how to make I don't think making moonshine out of toilet paper is going to make my life any better, or I'll go to sleep better at night, but now I'm curious.
Do you want to know?
Just tell me!
Alright. Fine. So basically, wood, toilet paper, it's all made of cellulose. It's all sugar. It's just very long forms of it, all bonded together. All you have to do is break those bonds, and there's a certain chemical he uses to do it. Anyways, once you break that, it's just regular sugar like you would get from corn. And so then you just follow the same steps you would to make moonshine after that. It's moonshine with one extra step. And yeah, so Canada must be more relaxed, because he did distill it, so they must not give two shits in Canada. Because, of course, we had the 1920s, and oh, God, couldn't have alcohol in the 1920s. Heaven forbid.
Oh, we did.
Oh, we did.
Oh, we did.
But why is the rum gone?
Just illegal. Remember, kids, if you're going to make alcohol, just make beer. That's perfectly legal for whatever damn reason. Just don't sell it. Then it's illegal, too.
Monopoly.
Yeah, it's the government. They're controlling us. They're keeping us down. It's the man.
I just wanted to make some homemade Busch Light.
I don't know. Can you make a light beer at home? I feel like most beers are going to be heavy beers you make at home. I think you have to have special chemicals and stuff to make it light beer.
I wouldn't know.
This is a question for the ages. There's a video idea, potentially. We tried to make a light beer at home. And, all the people from outside of southeastern Nebraska are like, why? Why would you make a light beer? What is wrong with you? Everybody in southeastern Nebraska, yeah! Busch Light! Homemade Busch Light! This is like
It's like
I weigh 90 goddamn pounds and you bring me this slopping foam?
This is like the only part of the world that drinks light beer. Outside of it, everyone drinks regular beer.
Just like Papa used to make.
My dad's like, he goes anywhere outside the Midwest, he can't get beer. Because it's all heavy beers. He has to find... Yeah, I think he ends up drinking Budweiser, which is the closest thing you can get to drinking Busch Light. So...
Wait, so light beer is 5%?
No, light beer is caloric content.
Oh, caloric count? Okay.
It also just tastes like nothing compared to regular beer.
Mm.
In Germany, they drink heavy beer, and it's all warm.
It's all what?
Warm.
Warm.
Isn't that technically like what Guinness is? Of course, not like to a point, but that's technically kind of what Guinness is, isn't
I
it?
think Guinness is a heavier beer, but even then,
That's
still
light.
it's still light compared to what they'd probably drink in Germany, or like any of the, or like. Well, no, I know. I'm just comparing across borders, but I don't know. I just can't imagine these big Germans just dumping back all this heavy beer. And it's all warm. I just can't imagine. People here, they're like, they're drinking light beer warm, trying to knock it back, and it's rough. And I'm like, these guys are drinking heavy beer. Something wrong.